Welcome back to Hazardous Endeavors.
Yes.
How y'all doing?
Doing right proper good.
The endeavors are indeed hazardous.
Good. Well, where we last left our intrepid adventurers, you had successfully defeated the necromancer at the top of the ancient lighthouse in Coleman's Rest, and had recovered the Brazier of Ograd. And I believe convinced some locals that a boot may or may not be magical.
Aha! The Brazier of Ograd.
I wasn't saying that it was explicitly magical. I was simply saying that it was sacred.
Sacred
saved the day.
Brazier of Ograd.
And it saved the day.
Yes.
Brazier.
I was
Not
giving them a
brazier.
symbol. A symbol to help keep them on. Because I really think that it's very unlikely that this Brazier's going to get back to them anytime soon.
Are you still on about the boot? I stopped listening a long time ago. Let's go.
There's one thing I would like to see if I can grab before we leave the city.
Sure.
The very loud whining alarm.
Yes. So, where we last left you were at the top of the ancient lighthouse, and the guards had gotten up enough courage to make their way up the tower following you, had dispatched the handful of undead you left waiting in the on the 5th floor, I believe it was, and then came up to find you having defeated the necromancer, who they now give you assistance in actually bringing said brazier down the tower. It is not an extremely light thing, but they bring it down for you, and they basically are going to start boxing it up and getting it ready for travel.
And Ogre's Brazier would be definitely very heavy.
Yes.
Cool. So I would definitely have 10 minutes to fiddle with this alarm.
Yes, you absolutely would, which is, you get down there and they have put a bucket over it, and so there's this kind of screeching bucket sitting on the side where they just kind of pushed it off to the side in hopes that someone would deal with it. Yes. So, of course, when you show up and start dealing with it, they're very thankful. But you spend a few moments with it, and then you do find the command word to turn it off.
Yeah, casting Identify.
Yeah. So you were able to identify it. You have the command word to activate it and deactivate it, and you now have a stone of alarm.
That's really lovely. Please never use that in my presence.
Or at least find a way to turn the volume down on it.
Oh, hey, Lindo.
Eh.
Here.
Elliot gives Lindo the stone of alarm.
I don't know why you would do that, but
I will
okay.
put these in my pocket for later.
And tell him the word.
Okay, so Lindo has been told the activation words for the stone of alarm. Okay, so as you guys do this, and you're down there at the base of the tower, and they start basically getting a crate together, packing the Brazier of Ograd, and then of course they bring you a cart to transport it back with.
Lovely.
So of course you guys do have the moment if you wish to say.
Oh god, I'm dying. Sorry.
You cannot breathe soda.
It was coffee. It's just so interested in what you were saying that I got a little choked up.
Oh, I see.
You can actually breathe coffee.
Oh, fuck.
Just like
I'm sorry.
you can breathe beer.
It's all right.
You can breathe coffee and beer. Those are the things you
For
can
a short
breathe.
time until you die.
Also true.
Oh, damn, Jackson.
Jackson with all the positivity in the world here. So, you guys do have the
realism.
opportunity. Right. Which is just the catchy word for pessimism. So, you guys do have the opportunity to take a long rest here, to which they, of course, let you stay in the inn free of charge for rescuing, cleansing the town of the evil that was there.
Is
Lovely.
food covered?
They will indeed cover food.
Is beer covered?
You have to pay for the alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Is company covered?
Well,
All depends on your predilections.
Oh, you guys are free, so, you know.
we'll just go ahead and say that the evening passes unless you guys all have something you wish to do.
Well, I imagine that we end up doing an impromptu concert again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and try a perform check on that.
I would like to assist.
I also assist with magic in the background.
Oh, so go ahead and give that a advantage.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. I like advantage. Let's go for a 19.
Okay, a 19.
Also a 19.
Also a 19 with the and you granted the advantage, Elliot.
Yeah.
Jaxom during this whole time, of course, just relaxing and watching the escapades.
Yeah, as it's happened, want to happen.
And this is why our paladin drinks.
One of these days, I'm gonna get like a triple twirl thing going on stage. What do you think? Triple twirl, maybe like a head toss.
I will look up some spells for that.
Huzzah!
Nice.
I don't think I'd like to be ragdolled around the stage.
Disagree.
So, that can be you, right? Just you do you, Lindo.
You're like the still and silent
I mean-
sort, like a dead fish that sings.
If you get yourself nice and limber enough, you do you.
All right. So the evening passes then with a great show from all of you. The townsfolk are super appreciative, and they shower you with adoration, as is your wont.
That was a very timely advantage there, because
You almost flubbed it.
the first roll was a 1,
Yeah,
and then you
he
said
almost flubbed
advantage,
it.
and I'm like, oh goody.
Wilf almost started like some terrible like Good Charlotte song about the undead, and just like, oh no, everything's terrible, and it's like, whoa, let's change this up a little bit.
Good Charlotte is bubblegum pop.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah. What did you just call it?
Bubblegum punk.
Oh, right. Yeah. Not so
Yeah.
much.
Chewing resin punk. Got it. So
Chewing resin punk.
So as you guys then wake up the next morning, everything is ready to go, and you start making your way south back to Kelenhall.
Aha! The majestic path we go.
Downhill!
I'm pretty sure it's
no,
uphill.
going south does not imply downhill
'Cause we're
necessarily.
at the beach and we're going into the center of the country. It will be uphill, Lindo.
But I thought the south was below us.
Well, I mean,
That is
Pat
not how
Lindo's
cardinal
head.
directions work.
My head has been patted.
It's fairly
I feel
chilly.
assured.
I don't know. It sort of is if you know you believe some scholars who think that the world is in fact round. If we're on like the side of the earth and we're going south,
Preposterous, says a passing guard.
well, I will have you know that you have a very small mind, sir. Very small. You know, in proportion to the rest of you.
He is obviously an ogre.
Right, and you're transporting his
Really?
brazier.
Why not? His braziers.
Brazier.
So, Ograd.
Eh?
Ograd's brazier.
As you travel uphill south, making your way to the city of Kelenhall, again, it takes you, I believe,
Series
it was
of
about
2
a day and a
cones.
half of travel.
It's only one cone. I imagine the brazier itself is huge.
It's like uniboob.
Oh, and you only get
Not
like
the
one
Cyclops.
boob?
Brazier of Cyclops.
Is that like when you wear like chest plate armor and the ladies only get the one boob thing going on?
Well, I mean, really, that makes sense. Otherwise, if it was like a divided chest plate, it would just channel all the force straight into, you know, your sternum.
Can you imagine the breast sweat? Oof.
No, I actually can't.
Again.
So the travel south takes about a day and a half of that not much interesting occurs throughout that except for some conversation, which leaves Jaxom wondering where he can get himself some more
Like
ale.
the whole party's blushing. This is great.
So you arrive back in Kelenhall with your cart and various gear in tow. And as soon as you make your way in, the guards, of course, they stop you as per the norm. They ask you who you are. They end up recognizing you. One of them runs off to basically give the information, to which, of course, you are then told to go back to the same guardhouse you did last time you returned to the city, to where you then meet back up with Captain Bael.
Aha, we have the thing.
Congratulations.
The
thank
magical
you.
MacGuffin.
Oh, I love magical MacGuffins.
So Captain Bael, of course, is waiting outside when you guys roll up with the cart, and waves you down, walks up, and kind of looks up at Jaxom, says, how did it go?
We had to dispatch some undead and a necromancer.
His eyebrows shoot up. A necromancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Troubling.
Didn't know why they call her a necromancer. She had a rather heavy gorget on.
Jaxom reels back and just kind of smacks Wilf on the back of the head.
Yeah.
To which, of course, Captain Bael just slowly nods and looks over at Elliot. A necromancer, you say?
Yeah, although this particular necromancer didn't seem of the wizard variety.
Again, troubling. Did you find any information about them? Did they say anything?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure she said things, but
I think
we were
we
more
just-
like, you're trying to kill us.
Oh no,
with creepy
we kill you
undead.
back.
And then we killed her, so.
I see. Understood.
It's pretty straightforward, honestly.
Well, come inside. I have news.
Oh,
Interesting.
that sounds good.
Coming inside?
Ish.
Yeah.
No. News that he doesn't want to say out where everyone can hear. It's generally bad news.
He waves you to follow him, and he makes his way into the guardhouse. Inside, he leads you over to a room off to the side, large table with some chairs around it. And as you guys enter and close the door behind you, he looks around and he says that it is possibly the best news we could have heard that you have returned with the brazier. My investigations as you were gone have not been nearly as fruitful.
Oh. About the
disappointing.
goblins.
Indeed.
Did you ask around?
Yes.
Did you ask everybody?
We asked individuals who might have the information, yes.
Ah, well then it's at a loss.
Right. For what we can understand is the only people who had access to this information were some of the people in the higher echelons of command. People who were signing and writing the documents for the actual trade agreement with Kazdolatar, and the people whose money changed hands. There are a few merchant families within the city who were aware of it, but my investigation was not able to find any information that it was any of them that did this.
And it wasn't any courier or anything like that, any clerk trying to pick up a couple extra shillings?
We compared the handwriting on the missive to some of the documents that we have from some of the noble families of other similar, well, anyone who basically had access to this knowledge. It does not match.
Well, that's a right tosser.
Unfortunately, I could not ask too much of certain people, otherwise news of the investigation would get to people we may not want to know, in which case they may just go to ground and we'd lose any trail we have.
I see.
Right.
So for now, all we can assume is that there is somebody in the city that means us harm.
I got that part. La 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 la. Somebody wants to hurt you. Got
So-
it.
He couldn't tip off the bad guys,
Uh-huh.
and so he couldn't completely follow the investigation, because if he showed his poker hand too quickly, they'd all run away.
From poker hand. Okay, yeah, I got this.
Right.
Okay.
Is there something people who are not of the military can do to help?
Well, in this circumstance, I would be overstepping if I were to ask any of you to get involved, if only because the internal politics of the city are very tenuous, and adventurers poking their nose into the business of certain merchant houses would not go well.
Okay.
For
I
now,
agree.
I ask merely that you lay low on this regard.
We can do that. Do you have any other missions or work for us?
Currently, no. We don't have anything at this moment for you to do. I would recommend going and getting some rest, and perhaps I will have something for you tomorrow morning. There is some whispers of goings-on in Jaral that I might need you to take a look at.
Righto.
Drawl, huh?
Indeed. For now,
And that
your
is-
work is appreciated, and I will make sure that the brazier is brought to the castle.
Before you leave, about the brazier.
Yes,
I've
of course.
been researching it since I've gotten my hands on it. It is not a light, or it's not just a light.
Really?
It is a focus for large-scale rituals.
I'm unsure what that means.
It's basically a massive... It's where a bunch of wizards can store their power to do some large form magic. things
see.
that are truly dangerous.
And it's been a light at the top of a tower for hundreds of years.
Yeah, not quite what I would consider correct allocation of arcane knickknacks.
Curious. I wonder if the Vizier knows of this.
He might, but this could be used as a weapon. A rather large weapon.
Understood. In this case, then, at least it's in the right hands.
Agreed.
Very well. I would recommend, again, getting rest, and I will call on you in the morning.
Very well.
Right. So, wait. Quick thing.
Yes.
Do apologize because it's an obnoxious little thing. Also, we need paid for this job.
Oh, yes.
Yes, indeed. I will have that for you again on the morning.
Okay, right. Well then, Capitan, bid you adieu.
Goodbye.
He thanks you, walks you out, and you guys are free to go back to the inn. At this point, you guys have arrived in town mid-morning. So you have the rest of the day to go about your things and kind of go back and get yourself situated at the inn.
Oh,
All right.
After I get my room squared away, I would also like to check in on hunting down a certain scroll.
Okay. You are able to get a little bit of shopping done.
Excellent. I'm trying to find a scroll that is for the cantrip infestation.
An infestation scroll.
Yes.
Okay. Cantrip,
Like a rat?
fairly easy to find in one of the several magic shops in the town. So I'd say fairly easily you're able to acquire it.
Excellent. Marvelous.
Standard
Really?
spell scroll book price. We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they wish to go around and purchase?
I don't necessarily want to do shopping until I get money.
Understood.
Hey, Elliot,
Yes.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah, you gave me this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an off button?
I told you that, Lindo.
I forgot.
Doesn't surprise me.
Okay, remind me.
Yeah.
What? Right?
No?
No. So Elliot does not actually give Lindo the correct.
I
off.
do give him the correct word. I don't want to make it up.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine.
Hopscotch. It's hopscotch.
Okay, so. If I say hopscotch, it turn off, yes?
It also turns on with that word.
Yeah, you can set it.
Okay, got it. So, I have a plan for this afternoon.
Okay.
Would you like to spend an afternoon with me putting this randomly in things and seeing what it sounds like? Like water or some mud, a glass bowl perhaps?
Yeah, we can
Tantalizing.
do that.
You're going to experiment with the
You
stone
should
of
put
alarm.
it in a bell. Look, that big bell in that big temple right there. I think that would be great.
Lindo,
Doesn't that sound great, Jaxom?
give me 1 hour.
1 hour, okay.
I'm going to change my spells.
I spend the rest of that hour waiting for him, bouncing on my bed.
Okay.
Like, not full legs or anything, just, on my tush.
Okay. So you guys relax, making your way to the. Do you stop by the Temple of Paelor?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that nice big temple with that nice big bell.
Yeah. I stopped by the Temple of Paelor and
Yeah.
figure out a little bit if we find out some more history on these bracers.
Okay, so you make your way to the Temple of Paelor in Kelenhall, which is easily the largest temple in the city. You are greeted by one of the kind of mid-level clerics, as the high clerics are off kind of doing their own thing and very busy being clerics. Brother Euclid is the individual who meets you, a male human, just very kind of cloister cleric style.
Okay.
Who, of course, welcomes you back, blessings of Paelor be upon you, and inquires what it is that he could do for you.
I would like to look into the histories of the armor of Kelenhall, Brightblade.
Oh, Kelendar.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, of course. Come inside. And he leads you to one of the libraries, and you note that as you're making your way through, several people are glancing at your bracers, and some of them are like arched eyebrows. Some of them are like suddenly starting to whisper to each other.
A little ostentatious, don't you think?
Several people definitely giving them a lot more attention than you're used to.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
But you are led to one of the libraries to where some of the information about the more mundane life things of Kelenhall Brightblade are, and the descriptions of him outside of like the heroic sagas and epics.
Okay, yeah.
So you basically start reading through and spending your evening and afternoon doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just imagine that it sounds like they're describing the Stig.
Yeah.
Some say Kelenhall Brightblade.
Right. Kelenhall Brightblade knew 4 things about ducks, all of which were false.
Kelenhall Brightblade uses 2 straws in his espresso.
Right. So you spend your afternoon doing that. You spend your afternoon hunting down and purchasing a scroll. And the two of you then go around and start throwing the stone of alarm into things and listening to what it sounds like.
Yep. At some point, I cast Spider Climb on Lindo so he could put the alarm in the bell.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, while he's studying. Yes. Yes, I
So I
want
just
this.
climb on the wall
Yes.
and I won't fall.
Yes.
Okay.
like you're a
You'll catch me if I
spider,
fall,
Lindo.
right?
Yes.
Spider Lindo.
okay.
Spider Lindo.
I climb the outside of the tower.
Does
Okay.
whatever a Spider Lindo can.
So Lindo makes his way walking up the wall on the outside of the Temple of Pelor to a very large bell. And pulls out the stone of alarm.
Hopscotch.
Make me a constitution check, because you are now standing inside a massive bell.
It's 16.
Okay, so you aren't deafened, but the cacophony that ensues. Everyone in the church immediately starts looking around frantically at what's happening.
Oh no! Oh no! I forgot how to turn it off! Oh no!
Half the city away inside the shop as you're paying, as you're putting coins on the counter paying for your scroll. Here, echoing with this metallic tin.
Oh, that is fantastic. Here you go.
I panic and I put it in my mouth. Okay, with the device in my mouth, it is very ringing. Climb down in a panic and look at Elliot, very upset.
So Lindo comes running down the side of the tower. People from all around have now gathered and are staring up and seeing what's happening when they see Lindo come running down the wall, stopping at Elliot and then just going, bleh.
Hopscotch, Lindo.
And then it turns off. To which there is now a crowd of somewhat angry people wondering what's happening, what's going on, are we under attack? Who rang the bell? Is it time for service?
Sleight of hand to hide it.
Sitting at
Yes.
the table with all the books and stuff that I'm looking at, I try and get Brother Euclid's or somebody's attention.
Brother Euclid at this point has stood up and is like looking out the window, like, what in the name of the gods?
Great.
I don't think that was a good idea.
You usher him over.
Yes, I
and-
usher him
I
over,
think it
thank
was
you.
a wonderful idea.
I give him the
Lindo.
descriptions of all 3 of my
We learned so much.
companions and ask him to
Heard it was
come
loud.
back to me with which of the jackanapes was responsible for it.
Wilf.
He nods and he goes out of the room. When he opens the door, you see like several minor clerics, like and functionaries, running about, wondering what's happening. Who rang the bell? Who rang the bell? you know, and of course he returns after a while as you guys are outside, like surrounded by a bunch
Oh
of
my
angry
god,
people.
who rang the bell? It's like amazing, and I have no idea. I tried to stop him, but it just kept going.
Good luck, Lindo.
Deception
Wait, what?
check.
Misty step.
Okay, so Elliot's
I
just
hate
like
you.
gone.
Oh, I'm rolling for deception.
You're rolling for deception.
Okay, let's see. 21.
21. Okay, so
My goodness, look at that. There was a bell and it rained, and I was like, oh, I'll capture that hooligan, and then they were not there, so I ran back down.
several people are very questioning, like, who was it? Who did it? What's going on?
I'm-
Other people are like, no, we saw you running down the wall.
Right, I was chasing a very short man.
I assume that it is sort of a situation.
It was the pirate Tradewind, obviously. Come to town.
Hold on.
Oh, you dirty little bastard.
Several people in the crowd start the hushed whispers. The dread pirate Tradewind here in Kelenhall?
Yes?
Someone near the back of the crowd. But we're not near the water.
He travels. We are only a few days away from a port, so, you know.
The hushed whisper then becomes a much louder noise as you're standing saying, yeah, it was the dread pirate Tradewind. So the hubbub is, and then the guards show up and start like trying to tell people, okay, no, we're like trying to figure out what's going on. Captain Bael shows up, pushes his way through the crowd. As he gets through, he looks up and sees you, and his shoulders, at which were up, kind of just drop.
Hello.
Lindo Espina.
Uh-huh. The beautiful Thorn.
Yes. What
Let's
happened?
say the whole thing.
Lindo Espina, what happened?
Okay, so here's how it goes.
Uh-huh.
So I was going up this tower, and it was pretty okay, and there was a bunch of zombies, and then I got this thing, and it was making a whole bunch of noise, and then we just threw it out the window.
Someone in the crowd, there are zombies in the Church of Paylor!
Anyways, don't interrupt.
To
Point
which
that-
several of the clergy, no, there are no zombies in the church. A paladin in the crowd suddenly pulls a sword out and runs into the church.
Anyways, Elliot gave it some sort of password, said hopscotch.
From the pocket you so deftly hid it in.
Right, then that happened. Hopscotch. I don't know what that was.
The crowd is now angry again.
And then the pirate told me to climb this thing and put it in the bell. So, you know, I obliged because
A pirate told you to climb the tower and put it in the bell.
Yes.
I see.
I am easily influenced and not very smart.
May I request...
I feel abused.
May I make a formal request that you do not do that again, or anything else that any pirates may or may not have told you to do.
Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day, Lindo.
Have a good day, Belle.
Does Lindo need to roll a deception for the answer of yes?
It had a question mark. I did not hide it.
Fair. So the crowd disperses. Sure enough, Brother Euclid ends up coming back and saying, I believe it was the beautiful Tun.
Thorn.
Oh.
No, I think it's good luck, that.
All right. Well, sorry.
all right.
Yes, something about hopscotch or something of that nature.
It sounds about right.
So, yeah. So you do your research. At this point,
continue?
Elliot has just completely buggered off.
Oh no,
You meet back up with Lindo as he wanders off.
I eventually find Lindo.
You, sir, are an ass.
I eventually
It was
find
quite
myself some
entertaining.
sort of
Thank you,
meat
Lindo.
pie and just
Hey, you're
sort of
welcome.
make my way back to the inn.
Okay. And sure enough, that evening you guys get back, you eat, you rest, and unless you have any other plans for the Stone of Alarm,
I continue to hide it.
okay. The rest of the evening goes by uneventfully.
Play for tips!
Morning arrives.
Play for tips.
You play for tips. Go ahead.
20.
Total of 20. Nice.
Also 20.
Okay, so you guys yet again play the bar, and everything's wonderful, and the people love it. And the bartenders are basically at this point saying, you can play every night if you wish. It brings people in. It's highly wonderful.
Yeah. And tips?
Yes, you do earn some tips.
I mean,
You don't do this for the people?
yes, I do. I do it for the people.
The beautiful
and for
people.
the money.
11 silver and 19 copper.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a pretty good haul. So, morning arrives to you guys waking up, going down to have some breakfast, and that is when you guys are sitting at your table enjoying your breakfast when a courier walks in wearing the livery of the royal palace.
It's a silk-swaddled messenger boy.
I see.
He
Interesting.
comes, yes, he comes walking in, and the first kind of idea you get about this individual is that they're definitely not used to being sent out beyond the castle walls, because they're looking at everything like something's about to stab them. Especially because the inn you guys generally frequent is not one of the nicer establishments where they would have, say, nice merchants or wealthy people at. You guys are at kind of the mid-level one.
Where adventurers and,
fights break out, say, every other day rather than every day.
Bet you if we sneak up behind him and say boo, he'll be a little.
Because obviously we're not going to frequent a war.
Right.
Oh, I thought
A
we
hell.
would.
That's right,
Hell.
a hell.
Yeah,
My apologies.
I beg to differ. I think that we quite frequently frequent a hell with some frequency.
Hello.
He looks around, and when he sees your table, he comes walking over and pulls out a scroll, opens it up, and proclaims, because there's no other description for it, but he proclaims that the personages known as Elliot Frostmoon, Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn, Jaxom Shaw, and Wilf, kind of looks at the name, Tradewind, are to make their way to the royal palace this evening for a banquet that is to be in their honor, the returning heroes of Coleman's Rest.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? That sounded a little weird there. It's almost like you said, attend a banquet at the royal palace?
In our honor.
He closes the scroll. Yes, in your honor.
What?
You are the returning heroes from Coleman's Rest. Yes, you have returned to the Brazier of Ograd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
Then
Elliot
you-
sneaks back into his chair looking quite sick.
Okay. So he kind of looking at all of you like, yes, of course, you have been invited by His Royal Majesty, King Horace Westing, to
I need new
attend a
clothes
banquet.
and my hair done and maybe my nails cleaned and a bath.
You need a bath, yes.
Hail the conquering hero.
Make what preparations you require. I am to return with your answer.
Yes, I think is the answer.
Yes. Elliot?
Yeah.
Elliot says yes.
Elliot says yes.
Very well. Good day. And he turns and makes his way out of there like he would like nothing better than to be
Thank you,
remove himself from this
Harold.
place. And off he goes, leaving you guys sitting there at breakfast.
I feel like
I need at least 5
That's-
hours to get ready.
a bit of an escalation, don't you think?
What do you mean?
For something
Escalated
as-
rather quickly. We were
Yeah.
working with for God, Captain,
Eh.
and now we have to go have dinner with the king.
For something as sort of trivial as we did.
I'm not sure if what we did was trivial.
Well,
Yeah,
it started out
literally-
as.
We went to the city of Coleman's Rest and pulled down literally the symbol of their city and saved that. That's kind of...
It started out as trivial.
It started out with a quest. How did it end up like this?
I did it at the Black Base.
It was only a quest.
It was only a quest. So, yeah, you guys have been invited to the royal banquet.
Right, I'm gonna go talk to Bael, because this is,
I'm going to talk to the bartender and
Weird.
get a bath.
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Bael now. If anyone wants to come with me, it's alright. If not, it's okay. Lindo, take a
We have
bath.
time.
I will take a bath. I'm
Yeah,
taking a bath.
I'll go with you to Bael.
I will
Without
also
the
go...
barkeep's daughter.
Elliot, sorry.
Clean bath.
Claim that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I will follow you, Mr. Wilf.
Right.
Okay, so Wilf, Jaxom, and Elliot are making their way to go talk to Bael, where Lindo is going to have a bath.
Hey, we
And then
violated one of the number
clothes
one
shopping?
rules.
And then clothes shopping and get my hair done and clean my nails.
Okay.
We
Also, may
violated
or may
one of-
not say hopscotch with the thingy under the water in the tub.
Okay.
We totally violated one of the group's rules.
We did.
We absolutely just left Lindo unattended.
That's true. So, sure enough, Lindo goes and gets a bath,
Right.
which is only interrupted at one point by one of the servants running, one of the bar people, one of the family of the bartender, running in, wondering what the loud noise is bubbling up from the bath, to find Lindo half covered in soap, sticking half out of the water, and hear
I have gas.
they leave quickly. The rest of you, though, make your way out to the guardhouse where you know where Captain Bael generally is. You find him dealing with paperwork. Something apparently happened yesterday. Something
Apparently.
with a bell and some loud noises. But he, of course, welcomes you in, and he sits down. He looks at all of you, and without having anyone have to say anything, he says, "You were issued a summons as well."
Well,
We were totally about to ask you about that. I mean, what the hell, man?
Yes, I received a message this morning saying that I am to attend a royal banquet in your honor for what you've done. Now, don't get me wrong, what you have done is extremely important for not only Coleman's Rest, but for Kelenhall itself and all of Dariel, but this is quite unprecedented.
I was going to say, it's not like they regularly invite ragamuffins in to go wine and dine with the king over,
Indeed.
Like 100 gold job.
Right. Now, the important part about this, of course, is the missive actually carried His Majesty's seal. This was something direct from the king that is a request. This is not a functionary or a noble. This is the king himself requesting your presence.
I was expecting this to be tied up in bureaucracy for at least, the next month before anyone would even hear about this.
In the missive that I was given, though, it also explained that the reward for your endeavor was to be given by them personally rather than being handed off. So at this point, I cannot turn it down. I mean, His Majesty is... I mean, he's the king. We can't say no. You did say yes, right?
We did say yes.
Yes.
Well, and we told Elliot that he said yes.
Wait. He looks around the room. Where is Lindo?
He was filthy. We decided it was best that
You
he took
left
a
him
bath.
alone?
That's one of those things, in hindsight, seems like a really bad idea.
He looks at the paperwork he has on
he
his desk.
gets in his own
sighs.
trouble even without being alone. Take yesterday, for example. You didn't believe a word he said, did you?
I found it hard to believe that the dread pirate Tradewind would make their way to Kelenhall.
Is that what he said?
Yes.
I see. That's quite interesting.
Right. So I'm assuming that it was something else, and perhaps maybe he just misunderstood. Maybe someone who looked like the dread pirate Tradewind told him to do it, or said or mentioned that they were the dread pirate. I mean, people take that name on themselves just to strike fear in the hearts of others. There's at least one brigand every other year that claims to be the dread pirate Tradewind.
Yeah, it's such an obnoxious thing, always popping up everywhere you go. It's like you can't get away from it.
Are you okay, Mr. Wilf?
I'm fine. Everything is fine. How are you?
I had nothing to do with the bell.
I see.
You are a terrible liar.
Very well.
Yes, seeing as how your description was given to me as well.
Very well, then. Either way, at this point, hopefully you'll make it there this evening, and I do request, please, not that I would assume that you wouldn't, but make yourself presentable if you're going to be in the presence of the king.
Yes, I suppose that would be very necessary.
Very well, then. Was there anything else you came to see me for, or was that it?
Well, I guess we just came to see you because we got a royal summons when it was unexpected, so I guess we'll...
So I was kind of expecting the money, but I guess we'll have to wait for that.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess we will.
He nods and gives kind of a half shrug, saying, "Well, at least at this point, if His Majesty wishes to bestow the reward upon you, there is the possibility that it might be larger than what we were going to provide in the first place."
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
So, I mean, for what it's worth. But very well. Go about your day. Do what you can. Attempt to cause no more trouble if you can, and I will see you this evening.
Excellent.
I have matters to attend to before then.
We will do what we can. We unfortunately can give no promises in regards to Lindo.
Oh, sure we can. We can promise that Lindo will be Lindo, regardless of anything that us, any god, or machination on Earth can do.
He just nods slowly. Very well. I will see you later. And you guys leave his office. Off we go. So, Lindo, you have your bath, you clean your nails, and you go shopping for more clothes?
Yes, I have 3 shiny gold coins in my pocket, and I want to find the tightest pants.
The tightest pants.
The tightest pants.
Okay. Sure enough, making your way throughout town, you are able to locate one of the height of the centers of the height of fashion, Fizzlewink's tailor.
It's like they put you in like elf size 2.
Yes. Yes.
Do not want to look like a sausage in a casting, kind of, but also no, but kind of. You know what I mean?
Yes. The shop you find is Fizzlewink's Tailor, which is a gnome-run establishment. Who, upon immediately you walk in the door, he looks you over a set of half-moon spectacles and kind of gauges you. Seems to nod, write down some things on a piece of parchment he has. He says, "Yes, of course. What can I do for you?"
Hello, good sir. I am looking for the tightest pants that can possibly fit on my body and still be able to move.
You have come to the right place. Come in, come in.
I come in.
And he leads you over, and he immediately puts a step stool next to you, and he like waves a hand, and a little step stool kind of moves over.
Oh,
And
hey.
he pulls off from his vest a long measuring tape and starts measuring you. But instead of writing anything down, he merely nods. "Yes, as I thought. Yes, this perfect.
It has
yes.
to be perfect because I'm a hero, you know. And,
Oh, yes.
I'm going
Of
to go
course.
see the king.
You have that royal bearing.
I know, right?
Yes." And he measures and does things, and he then produces a large swath of various different cloths and leathers. And mentions that, of course, this kind of tailoring is not going to be cheap.
That is fair. Okay, so what do really tight pants cost?
For you, working on such a magnificent creature,
Eh.
it will be 2 gold.
Hey, that is a deal. I have 2 gold to spend.
Very well. He snaps his fingers, and a halfling and an elf come out from the back room carrying some more bolts of cloth.
Hello.
And he kind of claps, and they immediately start laying things out, and he starts barking directions at them about, okay, we want this much of this, and this much of this, and this much of that. And then we're going to do this, and I'm going to make this the best pants I have ever made.
Oh, yes.
So, Lindo spends the majority of his afternoon being fitted with the best pants he has ever seen in his life. The rest of you, I'm assuming, go and find yourself some presentable clothes.
Yeah, like
Buff up my armor.
I'm saying like 15 silver worth of
yeah.
fancy digs.
Sure.
Like I'm an adventurer,
Right.
but I like to look nice.
Jaxom?
Go back to the temple. Find like I said.
Brother Euclid?
Yep. Find Brother Euclid. Go and buff up the armor and
Okay.
see what spare good clothes they have.
Okay. And,
Elliot's a wizard.
Elliot's a wizard who has messy hair and might comb it.
Oh.
And that's about it.
All right. Well,
Does the cowlick still poke up?
Wait,
Definitely.
are you? Maybe you get your hair, a little frosted,
frosted tips.
frosted tips. Eh?
No.
Yeah.
And on that note, that is the session. So definitely, we will pick this up next session, dear Digidicer, and until
Hopscotch.
then,
Game on.
Game on.
Internet.
Game on,
Game on,
internet.
internet.